Okay, so basically, my topic is choking under pressure, performance, and motor behavior, and I'll be kind of giving this in a lecture type format. So, as an introduction, we're going to cover what is choking under pressure, and basically, choking under pressure can be defined as a decline in performance in situations that call for an emphasis on exceptional achievement/performance. So, this could be in a multitude of different situations. This could be in social situations for someone who's shy. This could be in an academic situation, a scholastic situation like that of a big test, or it can be in an athletic situation. So I want you guys to think back of a time. Golfers maybe, so you've had to make a putt for par, and you felt a lot of pressure. Soccer players for when you've had to make a penalty kick for a game winner or to tie the game. And free basketball players out there, when you've had to make some free throws in a very stressful time to win the game or tie the game or something like that. So we've all been through pressure-filled situations, and therefore my question is, did you succeed in times of pressure or did you fail? And basically, you've succeeded or you've failed based off of the motor program involved, right? So if you failed, then the motor behavior that you've retained over time just somehow didn't carry through, and we'll go over that process. So what causes one to feel this sensation or need to perform? And let's dive into some of the causes and the very basic neuroanatomy that's involved. So first, let's answer this why component. And this next study was done by Eric Bidgelevold and Harm Velling. And these two scientists have proposed a few theories or mechanisms that have caused people to choke. So the first one is conscious processing theory, and that's basically that pressure causes athletes to deploy attention to step-by-step components of motor skills that are normally executed unconsciously. And the second one is the distraction theory. And this proposes basically that pressure prompts task-irrelevant thoughts and worries that occupy your working memory. And this working memory is very much needed in order for the motor behavior and the motor programs that you have had retained over time. It's necessary for those to be carried out, right? So you're basically taking in information, using that working memory to draw from your long-term memory and carry out the motor behavior that you want. So both of these, the conscious processing theory and distraction theory, pressure basically disrupts the correct processing that is involved with both of these. So it could be parallel serial processing. It also causes hiccups in the response selection or response programming stages of information processing. So the motor behavior just isn't able to correctly display exactly what it needs to. Everything isn't firing the way that it needs to fire when you're under pressure. And this both of these are caused by overloaded cognition, and scientists have coined this overloaded activity to occur in the left brain. And that leads me to my next point. So now let's dive into this next study, which was a study done by Christopher Massagno, Jacob Garvey, Stephanie Tibbert, and Peter Groffel, and they investigated handedness as a cause of choking under pressure. So they found that left-handed athletes use little to no left brain during stressful situations. And remember, this left brain is responsible for the overloaded cognition of athletes and people that are trying to complete tasks, complex or simple, under pressure. And then right-handed athletes use a lot of their left brain while doing different activities. And they did tracking tasks, they did putting under pressure, they did many different things. And so basically they found that the right-handed people used much more, so they were more susceptible, and they had a lot more decline in performance due to pressure in situations. So this is unavoidable and unfortunate for the righties out there in the world, but there are still some solutions, so we'll talk about those next. So these scientists basically conducted a study with golfers and evaluated their putting outcomes. They introduced pressure by increasing monetary gain when a longer putt was made. So as the putt distance increased, the more money was introduced. And all the putters basically did poorly with the increased pressure that the scientists had put into the situation. And the scientists equated this to over-arousal. So to decrease the over-arousal, the scientists helped the putters employ emotional regulation strategies. And those strategies were reappraisal and distraction. And reappraisal is basically reinterpreting a situation in a different light. So instead of seeing the putt as monetary gain, you'd see it as a monetary loss. So instead of saying, okay, well, I'll make $50 if I make this, that'd be like saying I'll lose $50 if I make this. And then distraction is exactly what it sounds like. It's just basically distracting yourself, putting yourself in your happy place, and then bringing yourself back to the situation. And both of these strategies help significantly increase the putt percentage under pressure. So now you know a little bit about choking under pressure. Here's my works cited.